Thanks for staying with us. He's the founder of Genesis Celestial Church of Christ, one of the largest and fastest celestial churches in the world. Welcome with us, Prophet Israel Ogundipe, a.k.a. Genesis. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Yes, good to have you again on the show.
Thank you, thank you.
So, aside from checking up on you, seeing how you're doing, one of the things I wanted to discuss with you is the issue of entitlement. You know, we always talk about it in this show where young people always feel entitled that they do this for me. You're my father, or you're my sibling. You are rich and poor. You help me. You're supposed to help me. You're my father in the Lord. You're my sister in the Lord. You're my mother in the Lord. You're supposed to, you know. There's always that feeling that you owe me. And that was some of the feedback we got when you released your last video. Okay. A sense of, why does this? Yes, he must have some important points. Why does it come across that he's feeling that somebody owes him? Why should you feel that way? What are your thoughts? Is that what came up? Was that the reason?
Or was there more to the
story?
story?
More to the story?
Yeah, entitlement is different from rights. It's just like you have your child now. You've done a whole lot for that child, and you now ask your child to help me pick that cup. Or you've really served someone, you've been with someone, you've been totally connected to the person with the whole of your heart. And by adventure, I mean, all of a sudden, you now met her or her hand in what you're not supposed to experience. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Since I came out of my wilderness, I was not complaining. No one was looking for me. No one was talking about me. But one thing we have in Africa and among Yoruba people, we like being pretentious. We love pretending as if we like people, and we backstab them.
Wow.
So when you see the impact of the backstabbing and you are able to see what was actually coming for you, you have to react, because you won't have to be quiet for everything, and you don't have to talk about everything.
So I don't want us to focus so much on your video because it's not about that. But I just wanted to. I wanted to
because it trended. I saw it. I understand Yoruba very well. I was wondering, you know, why now? Number one, because you have already fought this battle. You're out of it. You needn't be joining issues. You know, at a time when it was unexpected, you decided to just talk about it. Why at that time?
Yeah, because...
What was the purpose? What did you think to achieve with it?
Right now, the question you're even asking me about, I don't know who you're talking about. Because
who were you referring to?
I never mentioned anyone. I was trying to teach people how to be loyal and how not to betray people or think of, I must pull this person down stylishly. But to all of us, I didn't mention anyone. And when you get to the court of law, one of the maxims of equity says, even when equity must do equity. There are some things we shouldn't say. Of course, some of you are Yoruba now, and we should remember our Yoruba culture. Do you know that when you over-respect people, they subject you, they subdue you? Of course, if they're not paying you anything here, or you're not getting anything here, you have the right to take your leave. But don't leave here and you now start hearing people saying when you were here, while you were here, you stole television, you stole radio, you stole this, just to validate being good to people. You have the right to react and talk about that.
So you were not referring to any person, any institution at the time?
Only sensible people will have to gain from it. But some people who are not too sensible will pick word to want to nail you.
Okay, interesting. Let's talk about something else.
So, yeah, still on this matter, you know, when things happen and you realize that people are not who they seem to be, or people are not, they project something else, but at the end of the day, when you're down, that's when you really know those that stand for you. What advice would you give to people that are, you know, growing up to become influential on how they can navigate around either friendships, colleagues, and all that, to protect themselves so that things like this will not happen at the end of the day?
Yeah, number one, you have to be yourself. Number two, you have to be purpose-driven. Number three, you have to be value-driven. Number four, you need to know what you stand for, and you need to know where you're going. The problem we have in this country, when they see you with rich people or you mingle with them, they believe they've given you the whole of the money in the whole world. And if you're not careful to speak out, you'll see people that will come out and attack you. And you know the way they kidnap people now. And people will just formulate, you give me a cup. Don't tell the world you gave me a jug. But if you are yourself, you're going to be able to stand on your faith and hold on to God, who is the author and finisher of your faith, but will not tell you what will happen in the middle. I've never in my life expect too much from people, but never you stab me. I'm not going to accept it because you cannot replace the blood.
So, you know, there's something that I've heard over and over again, that culture influences our religion, you know. A lot of times we feel like we can isolate religion and be spiritual and ignore our upbringing and the culture of where we've come from. But obviously, you're a very cultural person, and it influences how you practice your spiritual journey in teaching others. If you find yourself in a place where you need to advise someone who's served diligently, you know, really, really served, and the person was disappointed with the response you got from the person they are served, what would you say would be the right line of action the person can use to release peace? You know, we always talk about forgive. Bible says we should forgive. What would be the right line of action you would say the person should follow if the person served diligently and the person's reward was to be disappointed and not to be rewarded?
Yeah, no one is serving anyone. Whatever you do to people, you're serving yourself. Because leadership has got to do with service. And you shouldn't expect anything from me. That's number one thing. If I'm good to you, I'm good to you not because of what I'm trying to want to get from you. And if you're bad, instead of me to attack you, I walk away. So if I'm now if I now walk away and I now still realize you're trying to want to block my way, then you see the other side that will make you understand that I have known the way. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And I will let you know you can't stop my destiny. I've walked away.
But sir, the way you're saying this thing, you're saying like, I will show you Jesus is the way, but we will not put Jesus like this. I will now show you. You want to deal with me.
Okay, you all are Muslim, you have Muslim, we have Christian. Can anyone stand in your presence and you see someone slapping your biological mother?
But Jesus said we should turn the left.
Yeah, in English, he said turn the other side. He didn't say we should turn the left. Read your Bible.
Okay, so that...
On the other
This, yeah, no, it's on the other side in another Bible.
So like...
But
this is
the question I'm asking.
Please open the Bible.
If you're coming from outside and you are able to meet with some people beating your mother, tearing her apart, and you're just coming from church.
You've left me more confused than I ever was. Today's the last interview when you were here, I really. But today you've left me more confused because so many issues. You're not exactly saying anything, but you're not exactly agreeing to anything on today's interview. So if there's anything I would like you to do, use this opportunity to put clarity.
Okay.
For the confusion you put on social media.
Yes, because a lot of people are wondering. I asked earlier, what was the purpose of that video? I watched that video.
But it was a clip. He wasn't as if we went to somebody was like a preaching.
Yes, he was preaching.
So he was preaching, and then
somebody
was a fool.
So he was preaching. The intention was not to come out like that. He was preaching, and I now use that as an example.
That's why I say
because
because
that extraction.
a lot of people would have left watching that.
Of course.
And the only reason I watched is because I heard him once on. If prior to your being on this show, I've never seen any of your videos. I saw that video and I watched it because I enjoyed that interview.
Yeah.
So if for any reason, if anybody left the way I was stunned after seeing that video and are wondering, and I'm having the opportunity to talk to you now.
Let me add, the reason why we were stunned is because whoever posted somebody's picture.
I saw the full length.
No, I'm just saying, somebody posted it. So that we are now looking at it because he's telling us that he didn't mention anybody's name. But the person that posted it,
he didn't mention
the person
any
that
person
category.
The
person that
posted, there were references to people, to someone hurting him that deeply. I watched the video.
Okay, let me come from the angle of hurting me that deeply.
Yes.
It's just like, okay, I took someone to be my mother. I took someone to be someone I love so much.
And when you were down, you needed that person to be there.
I was in need of God. I didn't, if I was in need of her, I would have been calling, pestering. But I wasn't bothered about it. I needed God. Actually, I needed God.
Yeah.
And I had walked away. I gave the gap. And after that, I started hearing some stories, some negative stories, which proves on my phone. You know what it is? If you now hear some voices and some words, are you like,
Did you approach her and
You-
say, "Ma, come bye in the movie"?
who are you still talking about?
We don't want to say it's new. We are going.
That-
Okay, let's
We
move on.
can move on.
Okay, let's
You
move on.
can,
Bible
you
passage.
can
Let's
only,
be happy. Please, let
you
me
can
read the
only,
Bible.
Yes,
Yeah.
so Matthew 5:38 to 40. I'll
Okay.
start from 39. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's stop on that. Let me go to how you've been, because I know that I heard that you
want
didn't
us
want
to
conference.
explain
No, let me, when you go and do research in the church, attend the service, I'm going to ask you a question. But I heard that you're doing some kind of conference. I'm thinking, what is the objective? It says standout conference 5G, and like 5 or 6 men are invited. I'm thinking, what are you still trying to achieve with this kind of conference? Are you trying to educate our men? Are you trying to educate? What exactly is the objective?
Yeah, the
of it?
leadership, the conference is about leadership. It's about mentorship.
Okay.
Like, I know how to be a great mentor. She's a coach, a life coach. And I'm trying to want to bring people like her, people of like minds, like Dr. Steve Akitayo, who's into real estate, Dr. Nia Desonya. At least come and teach people. I mean, I tell people Christianity is not a religion, it's a way of life. What we're going there to do is beyond church. It's about you developing yourself, you discovering yourself. If you don't have a mentor, you cannot be mentioned. One of the problems we have now is we don't have people mentoring us.
Yeah.
So that's what the conference is all about. It's
Why is
about,
all men? I only saw men on the pictures. There's no woman that is like a mentor.
of course,
I've
we'll
called
get,
like
we'll,
Obiajilu
we'll,
will be
we'll get that because one, we're talking about real estate.
Okay.
One, we're talking about how to start from zero. How to start from nothing. Another one is coming from the angle of leadership. If you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead anyone.
Interesting.
So that's what the conference is all about. Then we have Dr. Mike Abdul in the house, you know, and we have BJ Sachs, more of worship, words, mentorship, leadership, and fellowship.
Interesting. So tell us about, tell us about how young people, because I know your church has a lot of young people. I mean, when you watch the videos of your church, I'm like, they're dancing, there's energy. Do you think that young people are being transformed, especially with the methodology lots of our pastors are engaging? Yes, you have conferences, you have this. Do you think it's been impactful? Do you really think this thing is getting through? Because before you came in, we're talking about young people who are protesting that EFCC is arresting their friends who are into Yahoo Yahoo. And we're thinking, all these interventions, we're doing conferences, we're doing training, we're doing youth empowerment. Is it getting
Is it
through?
working?
Well, it depends on where it's been applied. But as for us, Genesis Global, it's really working. Because, like, I heard you saying something before I came in. My son came out, graduated from Babcock, and he came out with first class. As at the time, he needed money to travel to Ukraine or America to study. I was not having money then. And I said, we can't be part of church money because I'm not supposed to be part of church money.
Yeah.
And we can't use church money for that. Let him feel how Nigeria will be.
Yeah.
And to the glory of God, has really been able to develop himself. He's been able to develop software. He's been able to do so many things. It's so creative. And it's even handling my media editing now.
Wow.
So if I'd gotten that money as at that time to send him to Ukraine, what happened that all those students came back without achieving any sorry will have been a regret. And that's why we have to be led. Number two, we don't have to compare ourselves. We don't have to do things because other people are doing it. And that's why I am an Igbo man, I'm a Yoruba man. And you can't give me shawarma. And you say because the shawarma is good for you, I must take it. If Gary is good for me, I take my Gary. So that's why we are doing such conference. And that's why we have a lot of youth in our church, because I've given them opportunity to come closer to me, mentor them, go through how to handle storms. It is not about the trouble you went through that matters. How you've been able to handle it matters.
We've been talking a lot about a Yoruba man, you know, and we saw
barman.
we're trying really hard to ensure that these elections are not about ethnicity,
Yeah.
it's not about race, it's not
Yeah.
about religion,
Yeah.
it's about competence, who has potential or who
Yeah.
has the experience
Yeah.
to do it. So when we hear pastors say, I'm a Yoruba man, I would like you to use this opportunity to talk about the elections that are coming, because many people thought that you were very open and vocal about who you're going to vote for based on ethnicity, not so much on competence, on ability. And I'd like you to use this opportunity.
Yeah,
to
because
highlight
that video was actually edited. Okay, to the glory of God, I'm a Christian, and I was born into Islam. I love Muslims. I love them a whole lot. There was a time, there was one Islamic lecture like that, organized by one of my brothers who happens to be a Muslim. I went there, and some people started castigating me, but I wasn't bothered about it. That video was edited. Something led to that discussion. On a Saturday, there were a lot of youth in the church started arguing. It was almost turning to fight. This is who you're supposed to vote for. And all, like 50%, 40% were saying they should vote for so person. Even my son's friends said they will vote for the person they're talking about, who happens to be Igbo guy. And I called all of them. I said, okay, now, we're not talking about tribe here. We're talking about your own choice. You can't force your choice on me.
Yeah.
Don't force your choice on anyone.
Yeah.
Don't turn the church to a campaign ground. Okay, my son is saying this is who he loves to vote for. Okay, I'm saying this is who I'm going to vote for. It doesn't require you compelling people that this is who you have to vote for. We have seen so many leaders before now, who had promised so many things, who had promised, even during the time of Say Baba, this was how the virus was everywhere. Say Baba, he said he would do this. But why did it happen? Who kills no one? Major problem we expect too much from the nation, and you cannot offer your nation anything. It is not about what Nigeria is going to give to you. It's about what you're going to give to Nigeria. Why can't you go into farming? Why can't you go into some other things that will impact your generation, and stop complaining on or fighting on who you think will deliver?
All right. Interesting.
Okay, since everybody's looking at me,
We're looking at
let me ask my question, another question. So I've noticed, because I'm following you now, I've noticed that you're doing a lot of charity work as well. I recently saw the video of the giving, and I appreciated that video because I saw how truly touched that woman was. She wasn't expecting it, and that's really, for her, changed her life. I saw how truly appreciative she was. My question is, how did you select? Because you're someone who does this regularly anyway. How do you select those people? What do you have of a background to know exactly what she needed and how to help her?
Yeah, I'm always being led by the Spirit of God. And most times I flash back to what I've been through. Because I remember there was a time my mother was a cleaner like that too. I would have to carry all the brooms, but we cleaned from one house to another. I remember when I was a bus conductor, I was serving people. I remember when I was sleeping inside Cairo Market at Oshodi. I remember so many. So most times when I see things like that, when I have that conviction to get it done, I get it done. But I want to tell you, all the things you're doing, seeing me do, and not that I'm doing hasn't been by myself alone. I have a lot of people around me who are supporting me. I have partners. Like I called BC and I said, BC, let us set up this woman. Okay, I will pay for the shop. Elijah, share you will buy 50 cartons of Indomie. This will you. So we'll now use it to, do that for that person. At least out of 100, we've been able to touch one person. Because I believe a life of no impact is a life of no value. So I've done series about most of the video that sometimes goes around are being caught, edited by some people, like the one they edited where I was saying I'm a Yoruba boy. It was something that led to it, but I discovered who they paid for to cut that. And later I now brought out the whole video, what led to it. Because there was one Igbo girl in the church. I said, who will you vote for? She said she will vote for Obi. I said, now, look at how I've been able to teach you how to be courageous. I don't have to intimidate you because I'm your shepherd. In my presence, she said she will vote for me. I said, look at Igbo people, the way they celebrate each other. And I bless her.
Yeah.
I said, because you are not even afraid.
Yeah.
Because I'm not telling you this is who to vote for.
Exactly.
But nobody talked about when that person went to Abuja and a pastor was waving his flag.
Yeah.
That was an endorsement.
Yeah.
Another pastor from Jos
Yeah.
was saying who, I mean, I can't really
remember
the name of the pastor. That anybody that does not vote for this person,
yes.
say, I hate hearing that word.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Let's focus
hate
on
you.
peace.
So lots of pastors indeed have actually intimidated.
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely
That
correct.
was crazy.
Across religion, no,
And I
not just
wasn't
pastors.
saying Holy Spirit said.
Yes.
I wasn't saying Holy
you
Spirit
have-
said.
yeah.
This is
I
your
was
own
just talking my
opinion.
mind, and I was teaching people before getting to that level.
Right.
So we have about 10, 20 pastors videos that I saw. There was one pastor around Lekki who actually put it on his page. If I'd wanted to come for me, I would have come for him.
We have to go. We have to go.
Because-
So yeah,
but tell us.
those pastors.
No, not
They
that.
give you
No,
basic
not.
Yeah, tell us
not
the
Basgos.
day for your
Because the
conference.
other-
Not Basgos.
We have to run. Tell us the day for your conference. Where is it? Is it just for you?
October 9. October
Oh,
9.
what's the date on? This is.
Yes,
Yeah,
at Oriental Hotel, Grand Ball Hall,
Oh, really?
from 3 p.m.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, we're
That's
gonna
this
have,
weekend.
yeah, Dr. Steve Akitayo. We're gonna have Dr. Niya Adesanya. We're gonna have BJ Sachs. Then we have Mike Abdul as well.
Okay.
But the
thank you.
conference is free.
It's free, obviously. It's Oriental, 3 p.m. Thank you so much, sir.